Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the uptrend.com. In the pre-market this morning, things are very quiet out there this morning. We don't have any major economic numbers coming out in the pre-market. We do have energy inventories coming out at 10:30 this morning. Of course, the market is on pause right now, waiting for NVIDIA earnings, which come out after the market closes. Yesterday, the market moved NVIDIA up. It is back on a short-term buy signal as of Tuesday's close. 187.50, 200, 212.50 are the next targets to the upside if the market wants to overreact to earnings after hours. And then, of course, if you look down, 162.50, 150, 137.50 are the targets to the downside. Now, we are coming into month end. We are coming into a 3-day long weekend. Both of those have a bullish bias to them. Having a bullish bias does not guarantee success. It can often dampen any downward pressure the market may be having to deal with. And so it's not guaranteed, but it certainly does give us a bullish bias going into the weekend. Now, yesterday was once again the cannabis sector was the big winner with the US ETF Alternative Harvest up 3.43%. On the TSX, the ETF was up 1.16%. You can see that for the longest time, the flypaper channel was acting as resistance. And then all of a sudden, we started to break out above it. The flypaper channel became support, and then we popped in the month of August. Now, it's not all on the back of Aurora Cannabis or Canopy Growth, has a lot more to do with Tilray, which seems to be doing very well at the moment. Now, looking at the VIX, and I mentioned yesterday that we were going to start watching the flypaper channel for the VIX for the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Russell 2000. And in all three cases, we closed lower on the day. We're not expecting the VIX to be able to go much lower from here. So we will be just watching to see if it can break out above the flypaper channel, which would be a negative sign for the stock market. Now, looking at the major stock market ETFs, starting off with the iShares for the TSX 60, you can see we dipped into the channel yesterday before recovering. We closed up 3 cents on the day, so not a big move there, but the bank stocks took off yesterday. The big winner on the TSX 60 on Tuesday was the Bank of Nova Scotia and then the Bank of Montreal. Those were the two big winners. We also had Canadian Pacific Railway come back on a buy signal as of Tuesday's close. What didn't work, Canadian Natural Resources was the big loser on the TSX 60. Looking at the TSX Composite, and again, we're still dealing with the big update that we had on Friday, so we're still within that range. Haven't broken out of that just yet, but the TSX Composite did better than the TSX 60 on Tuesday. And the big winner was Energy Fuels, followed by Denison Mines, back on a buy signal here. What didn't work? Well, Headwater was the big loser, and it has been on a sell signal throughout the month of August. Moving on to the U.S. market, looking at the Vanguard Total Market ETF, up just under 0.5% on the day, so no big deal there. The Dow was up even less than that on Tuesday, still dealing with the big range from Friday's trading action. The big winner on the Dow was Boeing, and it is back on a buy signal as of Tuesday's close. Then we've got Cisco sitting right on the edge of a new buy signal. And then we've got American Express moving up nicely, still trading within Friday's range. What didn't work? Well, Salesforce traded down into the channel yesterday. A close below $240.99 would give us a sell signal on Wednesday. And then United Healthcare was down a little under 1.5%. So still dealing with the 312.50 level and the top of the open gap. If we start dipping into that gap, we would expect it to the stock to come down and to fill it at some point in the not so distant future. So far, that has not started. And then, of course, if the bottom of the gap doesn't hold, then 250 would be our next level of support. Of course, if things change dramatically, and even with Warren Buffett's company investing heavily in this stock, it was not able to move it up above 312.50. 375 is our next mathematical target, but to get there, of course, we've got an open gap back here from the month of May that could act as resistance if we start breaking out above 312.50. And to get breakout, we'd have to start breaking out above the top of the flypaper channel. And so far, that is not happening. Looking at the S&P 500, again, we were up less than 0.5% yesterday, still dealing with Friday's range. Eli Lilly is not dealing with Friday's range. It had a nice up day, trying to fill the gap from early August. Then we've got GE Vernova is the next big winner on the day, up nearly 4%, sitting right on the edge of a new daily buy signal. We've got need to close above $629.12 to give us a buy signal on Wednesday. Then we've got GE Aerospace back on a buy signal as of Tuesday's close. What didn't work? Well, Dr. Pepper didn't work. It didn't work on Monday, didn't work on Tuesday. Not a stock I would ever want to trade, but it is in the S&P 500. Last up, looking at the NASDAQ, it was up 0.4%, so less than 0.5% on the day. Still in the channel, no buy signal there yet. The big winner was AppLovin, which traded back up to recent highs. And so if we can break out from here, then $500 and 531.25 would be our next targets to the upside. Then looking at Regeneron, it dipped below the lower channel line before recovering yesterday. So a close below yesterday's low on Wednesday would give us a sell signal for Regeneron. What didn't work? Intel didn't work. Still dealing with the $25 level. The high of the day was $24.74. So yes, there are sellers up at the $25 level for Intel. They have not gone away. And our last chart of the day this morning is Target, and Target's in the doghouse at the moment and looking very similar to Walmart at the present time. Okay, folks, that is all for today's presentation. So far, it looks like the market wants to sit on its hands until those NVIDIA earnings come out on Wednesday afternoon after the market closes. Have a great day. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Thursday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.